This is a 1974 VW Beetle. I'm Lucas and today I'm hopefully going to be getting this classic car running for the first time in around 30 years. This Beetle's been sat here for a while now and today I'm going to change that and get it driving again. In the last video on this car we pulled it out of a barn and got the engine unseized. This is the engine that's in question today. We're going to see if it runs and get all the parts back on it. Right then, let's get the tractor and see if we can get this classic car dragged out. So this Beetle's actually got like a homemade towing thing on it that we bolted on the last video that the old owner gave us. So let's get that put on the tractor so we can tow it out of here. Right then, let's see if it'll move. So I've got this car rolled out to here now. It seems to have come out alright. All the wheels roll good. The main problem with this engine is this. There's no rocker covers or any of the insides. So we'll definitely have to have a good look at that. Right then, what I want to do now is get this Beetle on the ramp. But the problem is, we've already got a car on the ramp. So this is the vehicle that's in the way, and it's actually my barger project. We just got it running and driving, so that video will be coming out soon. Let's get it started up and get this driving out. Right then, let's get that Beetle back inside. Now we've got this Beetle inside, let's get this ramp on and get it lifted up and see what we're working with. So we've got the car lifted up now. The previous owners clearly had some problems with this engine, so I think I'm just going to take it out so we can have a proper look at it on the bench. These CV boots are leaking on both sides. Let's have a look at the rust issues on this car. It's definitely not the best. There's holes all over the place. So for this car to go back on the road, it's going to need some serious work. The heater channel's gone. And the floor pan's gone. Both of them are hanging down. So to get this engine out, it's just 4 main bolts. That one there, so there's 2 at the bottom, and then there's 2 in the engine bay, which are behind the fan shroud. Right then, let's see if we can get this bolt loosened up. Oh yeah, there we go. But the nut's not come out, the actual thread has. So, at least it's come out, I'll have to put that back in. So that's both the bolts out, but unfortunately, they've both come out with the thread. I'm just going to lower the car down so that I can get to the bolts that are behind the fan shroud. So the bolts we need to get to are just behind here. As you can see, there's one just down there. I'm going to have to put my hand through all these spider webs and get to that bolt. So we've got this Beetle engine unbolted. Definitely loose, is that should just drop out. So let's get all the wires off. By the looks of it, someone's already done that. So I'll just shove them behind back. That's not good that actually, because I don't know where any of them go. Sure I'll be able to figure that out though. Oh, and there's no coil as well. I think it's ready to come out. So I'm just jacking this engine up. I'm going to get it onto the engine to set the weight. I'm just going to pull it back. There we go, that's his engine out. This is what's left of the engine bay. and that's his engine. So we'll take a look at this engine and see if we can get it working. So I've got this engine on the bench now, and the reason it's not going to run is because all the rockers are missing. So I think they're in the glove box of the car, so let's take a look and see if we can find them. Oh yeah, this looks to be everything. I'll get all these out because this is all the stuff for the engine. There's his rocker cover. Oh, and yes, the rockers are in there. And that's what needs cleaning up and putting back in. So all the parts for the rockers seem to be here. I'm going to rebuild the rockers. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take it to the ultrasonic cleaner. I'm going to clean all this stuff up. I'm going to vapor blast it. So let's get to it and get this rocker stripped. So I've got everything on the table now. By the looks of it, someone's already started stripping these down. I think that's the rocker arm. See if this block will come off. Just spray some of this oil off because it's very dirty. Then washers again, as you can see. It's a flat washer, a bendy washer, then another flat washer. So this is everything we've got from the rocker. We've got the bar and everything else. We've got these rods. We've got the rocker cover. I'm going to clean all this stuff up. Then I'll put it in the ultrasonic cleaner and vapor blast them. Right, so I've got most of the things cleaned up. So I'm just going to put them all in this tub so they can go in the ultrasonic cleaner. Right then, let's get everything into the ultrasonic cleaner. What this will do, it'll just wash all the oil and stuff off. And then the vapor blaster will get all the heavy stuff off. Let's get it on. So we've got this rocker cover. While the rockers are in the ultrasonic cleaner, I'm going to clean this up and paint it. So let's get to it. So I've got this rocker cover cleaned up now, so let's get it painted. So I've got this rocker all cleaned up now. The bar's all nice and clean and these are all clean. They've been in the ultrasonic cleaner, vapor blasted and scrubbed. These are all cleaned up nice and the hole is good. Air blows through them nice. But I found a serious problem to why this engine probably doesn't run, or why this car was taken off the road. I don't know, I didn't notice this earlier, but this part has actually snapped, and it's probably inside the engine. What I think must have happened is, it's seized in or something like that, and the piston has hit it and snapped it off. So that's not good at all. We'll have to look into that, and the engine probably needs a full rebuild. But anyway, let's get these rebuilt, and then we'll look into that problem after. First thing I'm going to do is put this pin in. Then we're going to put a flat washer. And then one of these bendy washers. Then another flat washer. As you can see with these washers, the two flat ones are on either side of this one that's wavy. With these things, you've got to make sure they're the right way around. Just put this metal thing on. Now I've got this bit built up, what I've got to do is, I've got to compress the springs, well these washers, because it's bent, it compresses, and put one of these in that little gouge. So I'll get that done now. There we go. So I've got this rocker arm built up now. So next thing I'm going to do is loosen all these nuts, so that when I'm putting them on the car, I can set them easy. There we go. That's that one done. I'm also going to loosen the screw thread, so I know that it's all free. So I've loosened all them up, and the reason I've done that is because when this is in the engine, this is just like that on it, and you use the feeler gauge, which is this, and you get the right size, and you have to check the size. So obviously to move it, use the screw and the nut. So knowing that this is broken inside the head has made me realise how hard this engine is going to be to fix, which is probably why it went off the road. So what I'm going to have to do is take this head off, which is this part just here. I'm not going to need this, I just got it to show you. So what I'm going to do to take that off, I'm going to have to take all the fan shroud off and loads of other parts to get to it. I'm going to take all the tinware off first. And these screws are tight. There we go. That's that tin off. So I've got this manifold undone. Next thing that needs to come off is a fan shroud and the alternator. There we go. Finally got that fan shroud off. That should lift up as well. There we go. Getting down some now. This is where we are with this engine. It's absolutely filthy. Oh? So unfortunately, it don't look like I'll be rebuilding this engine. So that big hole there definitely shouldn't be there. Right then, I think the only thing to do is this engine's going to have to get stripped down. It's going to need a new block, new pistons, new everything. And this engine's pretty much knackered. So what I'm going to do is, with this car, I'm going to see if we've got another engine. And we'll just put another engine in it, a running one. So let's get to it. This is the engine I'm going to be fitting. It's a 1600 twin port. So that should do the job. And if you're wondering where I got this engine from, it's from this Beetle just here that we've written off. So we've got it in the engine bay now. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to jack it up and get the flywheel into the gearbox. As you can see, this engine's just catching on the tinware just here. So I'm going to take that front piece of tin off. There we are, we should have a bit more room now. So the engine's lined up now. I'm just spinning this to try and get the spline on the other side to line up with the gearbox one. Oh, there we go, it went then. So let's get it bolt on, and then I can take the jack off. So I've got the bolt on this side started. I'll do it in to this side, then we'll be able to get the jack off. Lift this car into the air. Right then, now I've got them started, let's lift the engine up. So what this will do is it'll close the gap at the top for me, so I can get this D-bolt in. That also holds the starter motor in as well. So I've got this D-bolt, I'm just going to put it in at the top of the starter motor. So I've got all 4 of the bolts in now, so let's get this engine wired up. Also need to fit that petrol pipe onto the carb. None of them are marked up, so I'll have to figure it out. Look at that fuel line, it's all cracked. It's a good job we're swapping that, because that's how you cause an engine fire with lines like that. So I've got everything connected up now. Only thing I can't do is the accelerator cable because it's snapped. So I'll have to find another one of them or buy one and get one of them fitted. And I'm not going to bother doing the petrol line down there yet. So I just want to put the battery in and see if this engine will run. Right then, let's start getting this car cleared out because it's absolutely rammed. Let's start emptying it. Well, we've got half a floor pan, and I would fit that, but I think it's pointless because it needs a full floor pan. That just isn't enough. So this is inside the car, and as you can see, it's really rusty. And this is what I mean about fitting that front part of the floor pan. It does need it, but it also needs a back piece as well. It's fully just rotted out. So we'll have to order some floor pans for this Beetle. I've got the battery connected, so let's see if there's any lights. Oh, there's none on the dash. See if this works. Oh, it's not looking good, this. Right, moment of truth. Right. I have noticed there's a wire just here. It's disconnected. And the other end's just here. Well, I think it's the other end. They're both red, but this one's red and black. Let's just give it a go. What can go wrong? I'm sure we'll find out what will go wrong. And that seems to be coming from the battery, so that might actually be the full power. So we've got that connected. Hopefully that'll sort something out. Let's see if we've got any lights. Still no lights. Oh, it's working. Oh, that's good. That's from the key as well, so this car's looking good. Let's get a bit of petrol down the carb and see if it'll fire. So this engine has had an oil change. I'm just going to put some petrol down the carb so... Right, so now we know it fires and all the wires are connected alright. So what we'll do now is, I'll connect the petrol tank to it and we'll get it working properly. Because it's only running from the fuel that I've put in. So the petrol line needs to fit on here and come along into that pipe just there. So I've got some petrol pipe cut. Let's get it fitted. I've got that on there. Just need to fit a Jubilee clip and then get it on the other side. So we've got the petrol pipe fitted at the back. So let's have a look under the bonnet and see what the fuel tank looks like. Well, that's not even connected for the start. It's not even in it either. Let's get it lifted out and see if the fuel pipe's connected. No, it's not, but that looks like a new end on that. Finally, something good on this car. Looking down here, I can see that the old fuel pipe is just there and it's snapped off. So that'll need some new line. I've also noticed there's no brake fluid, so I'll have to put some fluid in for the brakes as well. They will need bleeding, but I won't be doing that today. Before I fit this top, I'm going to give this fuel tank a good clean. So I filled it with water, give it a good shake. Let's let the water out. So this will just get all the sediment that's in the tank out, so it doesn't get into his engine. While the tank's drying, I'm going to put the float in for the fuel gauge. Unfortunately, I've only got 3 screws because the other 2 had really bad thread. Now we've got the petrol tank sorted, I've got the old fuel line off and got some new line, so let's get it fitted. We'll get a clamp, then we'll put that onto the petrol tank when we fit it. So I've got the fuel tank in now and filled with petrol. So let's start this car up again. So I'll just put a bit more petrol down the carb so it helps pump it from the petrol tank. Let's get this car started up. Doesn't seem to be pumping it. So I have got another carb, so I'm going to fit this one and see if this one will work. Let's give it another go. I'm just going to see if any petrol pumps out of that. No petrol. That's not good. Maybe it didn't need another carb then. The petrol's just not getting through. Could be the fuel pump that then. I've realised the petrol ain't getting past here. This tube's blocked, so I'm going to get the airline and unblock it. There we go. Right, that's unblocked that now. So I'll get it all connected back up and we'll give it another go. So all the petrol pipes sorted, I've got the coil clamped down. This carb just needs a bit of tuning. So the engine's running good enough now. Next thing I need to sort out is this accelerator cable. It's snapped, so I need to sort something out for that. I'm not sure if we have another one, I'll have to go and have a look. So I've managed to find a new accelerator cable. So let's get this cover off and get the old cable out and refit it. I've also just noticed that this part of the floor pan's actually new. So that's solid. So the old owner must have bought two of these and only replaced one side. But anyway, let's get this accelerator cable sorted. There we go, as you can see it snapped just here. So let's get this new cable fitted. I'll see if I can get this in here first. So I've got the accelerator cable connected, so let's show you it working. Man on, let's take it for a drive. So we've got the seating now, let's get this car started up. We've just got downhill and he had a little pop. Come to see what it was. Tyres bust. It'll be right though for now. Let's take it for a quick drive. We'll have to be quick with this one. So I've brought the Beetle back up to the yard, changed this tyre. Got this other one, it's much better. So let's get the breaker bar and take this wheel off. Much better. Let's get this car started back up and take it for a drive. This window needs a clean, but it'll be fine. Let's get it started up. Oh, perfect. I've just remembered these pedals were sticking, so I'm just going to get a bit of oil on them and hopefully that'll sort this problem. Hopefully it won't just rev itself now. So this Beetle now runs and drives amazing. The only problem is these pedals sticking. That's the only problem mechanically really. So I think these pedals will definitely need rebuilding, but when it's restored that'll get done anyway, which clearly it needs restoring. These floor pans looking like that. So hopefully we will be restoring this car. I'm just not sure when, as we have quite a lot of Beetles to get on with at the moment. But if you like this type of content, please give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.